Yo, ha ha. They'll never say.
What is good, YouTube? Your boy Mel Neverson is back with another quick sneaker review, and today we got the PG5, the PlayStation, but it's the flip versions. For those that are not familiar with that, let me pull this out real quick. We got the original PlayStations that released, I want to say last year, but I feel like the flip version of this shoe released in the UK last year, but we never got it in the States, which surprisingly Nike decided to drop it about 2 weeks ago when I was able to cop. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about this shoe, if you've been on my channel, you know that I've been a huge Paul George fan. And I'm only saying that because I've had the PlayStation, the PG 2.5. For those that don't know, Paul George is I want to say, livid PlayStation fan. So I have a PlayStation 5, but I was able to get the PlayStation 2.5s, which you see right here, and quite frankly, the PG 2.5s. I was able to get this version. I think was the best just because it came with that whole strobe light effect that you would normally see when the PlayStation light towards the power, indicating that, you know, the controller, I think the lights on the controller, the light on the power, is kind of resembling that for a PlayStation, which I think is pretty nice. It looks like they scaled down a little bit. Put that right there. It looks like they scaled down a little bit when they did the PG5s, but it still came with a hang tag, and it came with, I think, extra shoelaces, if I'm not mistaken. But the only thing is, with Paul George and his shoes, they are long and narrow. So if you notice on both the PG4 and the PG5, you can see that. The only thing that I noticed that they transitioned from an engineering concept is that Nike, I think they labeled it as Nike Air, I want to say Weld Strobel. It's basically full-length Nike Air cushioning on the outsole, but they both feature that Strobel design that you see on the bottom of the outsole. You can see the window in between the two, between the PG4 and the PG5, which I think is pretty cool. So much of what we saw with the PlayStation PG5 release, you're probably going to see likely on the flip. So with that said and done, let's take a look, man, because the box itself is not much different from the original PlayStation. You can see that Paul George's logo is featured on the top of the box. It also says Paul George 5, indicating that this is the 5th version. And for those that don't know, yes, I wear a size 13, so this is a size 13, and I was able to cop on Nike. Of course, Paul George's signature is also featured on the box, and if I'm not mistaken, the PG or the PlayStation 5, the PG5 PlayStation Flip was a limited edition. So take it with a grain of salt. I just know that when you compare the Flip to this version, there's not that many pairs made. So, when we look inside the box, you can see it does have that stamp inside there, located at the top. And just opening this up, I thought something, but I'll get to that momentarily. Let me just get these shoes out. And to confirm, if you ordered the PG5 Flip, it does come with extra blue spare laces, and it comes with that hang tag that features Paul logo and the PlayStation logo at the same time. So let me open that up. But what I'll do towards the end of this video, I'll do like a lace swap so you can see the original laces along with the tag that is featured on here. The one thing I will say about this is that if you plan on leaving your tag on the shoe, kind of interchange this with another link, a metal link, just because this can easily snap. I'm just letting you know. So let's get into the shoe, because there's one thing I don't like, and I can see it right now, and I don't say that much on my channel. I prefer the original PlayStation or the PG5s just because of the color tone and how it was presented on the shoe. If you notice on this version, this hue, this blue, it blends in well with the midsole just because of that. Let me turn this around. Just because of, you can see that it has that blue hit towards the middle of the upper and the midsole. So you see that featured even on the Nike swoosh that's on the back towards the heel. It's a balance. It's a color balance. So basically, the difference between this flip and this shoe, I can already tell is that, and I thought that this was white. I thought it was white. It's actually gray. This is surprising because I thought that the sock liner towards here, I thought that would be white. This is actually a gray. And what I think I did, if I'm not mistaken, because I knew about this prior to the video, and I took a snapshot. So you should be seeing a snapshot with the PlayStation 5 console compared to this shoe. And I'm pretty sure if you're looking at it closely, the color hue is exactly the same. So this is like a light grayish. It's not white, because originally that's what I thought when I saw on the sneakers app. But, whew, man, I'll say this. But going back to the shoe, I'll say this. What they did, and I can already see it. If you look on the outsole, it has this multi-directional kind of traction towards the bottom, so you can have real grip towards the floor. It's probably like a one swipe thing where if this actually collected dust, you could just do that one swipe and most of the dust will pretty much come off. But what I noticed is that if you notice on the original, what they did is they had a multi-color tone for blue, black, and kind of, you'll see like a lighter version as you get towards the ball of your foot. But what they did is that they took this multicolor on the outsole of this shoe and then featured it on the upper of this shoe. The problem with doing that, when you have these spare laces, and this is where I was kind of getting at, you're going to notice that the blue, to me, is kind of off, right? Because this is a darker blue on the upper, and this is your traditional blue. So I don't know how that's going to blend in. Of course, I think the blue will stand out with the stitching that you see on the upper. And then, of course, here it has like the, I want to say like a pulley with Paul George's logo towards the toe box. That blue will blend in. But this blue towards the upper, the majority of the upper, I'm not sure how that's going to blend in. But, you know, we'll see. We shall see. But it also features that Nike swoosh towards the toe box. Same thing like the original has the Nike plastic swoosh that's towards the heel. And on the tongue, it actually features Paul George logo on the left tongue. And then on the right, it features the PlayStation logo. If I'm not mistaken, the materials are majority mesh. It's a mesh upper, but it has leather towards the tongue. And it's featuring leather towards the sock liner. I feel like the bottom, like I said, is multi-directional. That's the pattern is similar to the Kobe 9s. So if you remember the Kobe 9 and that outsole, this has similarities to it. And of course, it does have that peak window where you can see the Strobel air unit, that full-length air unit that is featured on the shoe. And it has the Paul George plastic plate towards the mid. It features Paul George also in the insole, if I'm not mistaken, in terms of his logo. But there are some subtle designs that's on the shoe that actually features the PlayStation controller. So the controller we know has the circle, the triangle, the X. You get what I'm saying? And you can see that repeated pattern featured on the upper of the shoe. Now, you may not be able to see this on my camera, but what I'll probably do is do like an enhanced version where you can see like a still picture. You can see exactly what I'm talking about in terms of the design. And of course, it does have that plastic plate towards the eyelets, added grip towards your foot. Now, the one thing about this shoe, oh, and also got the PlayStation 5 plate that's on the midsole. One thing about this shoe is you're going to have to give it a couple wears before you really feel that full-length air design. It's going to feel weird at first when you put it on, but the more, it's one of those shoes, the more you wear it, the more comfortable it's going to get. I'll put it that way. All in all, I got to say that my gut feeling about this shoe, if I would have had to go between the actual PlayStation 5 or the PG5 PlayStations, the original, versus the PG5 PlayStation Flip, it's this one all day. Just because that white with the blue stands out versus this multi-color tone upper. Not saying it, no way am I saying that this is trash or anything like that. It's just that I'm going to prefer this. Now, do I mind wearing both of them? Absolutely not. But what I'll do, like I said, during the on foot, what I'm going to do is switch out the laces that are gray right here, switch it up with blue, so you'll see half of the shoe will be blue, the other half will probably be gray. And then, comment below. Let me know what you think in terms of a preference. Do you prefer the original PG5 PlayStation, or do you prefer the PG5 PlayStation Flip? I don't know. Me personally, I feel like some majority of people are going to go kind of lean this way. That's kind of the way I'm leaning. But your boy's Magnificent, man. I am out. PG5, the PlayStation Flip, inverse colorway of the original PG5 PlayStations. I am out, and you guys stay blessed.